is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to this new episode of Ask Zad, coming to you live from Zad Studios here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. You will find the contact numbers displayed at the bottom of the screen for you to give us a call. Till then, we have a number of questions from the emails. Azan says, I want to know whether adding filters to pictures on social media or elsewhere, is it permissible or not? Changing one's self into an animal, or changing the background setting, or adding a non-living object to the photo itself. This is something that the Muslims have been tested with. And as the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that the Muslims, there will come a time where the Muslims follow the footsteps of the disbelievers to the smallest details. Even if they were to enter a desert lizard's hole, they would follow them. So the people said, O Prophet of Allah, do you mean the Jews and the Christians? And the Prophet said, yes, in a narration. Who then? Meaning, yes, definitely. The Muslims nowadays are trying to copy, to imitate whatever the Jews and Christians do. Their influence, due to their grip on media, it's a form of brainwash. So the Muslims watch their media, watch their movies, watch their TV series, whatever, and they are affected by it negatively because these Muslims don't have something to abide by. They don't have any pride in their religion, in the sense that they're not that proud of being Muslims, and some of them is even ashamed of being called a Muslim, and this shows you how ignorant these people are. Coming back to our topic, with the new social media apps, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, you name it, they've got it. The Muslims have been the first to board the boat and use these mediums. And unfortunately, it's not for the goodness of Islam or for their own benefit. It's just to show off. Now they have these filters. And to make a long story short, using these filters is dependent. First of all, if you use filters that make you look like a pig or a dog, then, or an animal, this is haram, because this is changing the creation of Allah. Allah created you in the best of form, and you degrade yourself to that form. This is not logical. People say, Sheikh, we're just kidding around, we're just joking. Akhi, you joke with haram stuff. Like when two people drink water and they use their glasses and say to one another, cheers, or bottoms up. What are you doing? This is imitating the kuffar when they drink their whiskey or wine or beer or whatever. This is not permissible. This is not adequate for you as a Muslim to do. So now they put these filters. This is haram. If the filters are like flowers and halos, etc., it's okay. Any unliving object added to the picture, this is okay. Changing the background, there's no problem in that. But when it comes to Photoshop, so if someone makes these touches on the photograph so that he removes the pimples, if there are any, darkens his hair, widens his eyes, makes something to his skin. Now this is creating other than the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal, because you're doing something that is not what Allah Azza wa Jal has created. You are adding something to it, and this is not permissible when it comes to photographs. And seriously, I have not tried this once in my life, and I feel insulted if someone would try to do this to me, because Allah has created man in the best of form, and we don't need these silly things to add anything to you except to make others mock you and laugh at you. Mahwish says, can a person who has sustained injuries make wudu and tayammum together, and what is the procedure, please? See, the most essential thing is, when I want to pray, is to wash the prescribed areas of my body. So I have to turn the water in my mouth, have to rinse my nose and blow the water out. I have to wash my face. I have to wash my arms to the elbows. I have to wipe once over my head and wipe once my, and then wash my feet to the ankles. That's it. If I sustained an injury that prevents me from washing one of these mentioned parts of my body, so for example, if I broke or if I sustained an injury in my left arm, when I come to make wudu, I have to see, can I wash that limb or not? If it is not possible, let me see, can I wipe over it or not? What do you mean by wiping? There's a cast, there's some plaster on it. So I can, with wet hands, just wipe over it once. That's sufficient. If this is not possible because there are burns on it, in this case, I have to perform normal wudu on the limbs that I can wash. This limb, because it is not possible to wash it with water, I perform tayammum on its behalf for skipping it. So I've combined between wudu and tayammum. But generally speaking, in 99% of the cases, it is possible for you to wipe, because there's a cast over it, there's a plaster, there is tape, there's some sort of bandages that cover the area. So simply with wet hands, you just wipe it once, and that would suffice, inshallah. If someone says, I cannot wipe, I cannot do anything of such, not even complete the wudu, make tayammum. I cannot make tayammum, I'm not being able to move. In this case, pray as you are. Prayer is a pillar of Islam. No one is exempted from it as long as you have your sanity, as long as you can think and know and recognize. In this case, you have to pray. You can't make wudu, make tayammum, dry ablution. You can't make dry ablution, pray in whatever state you are in, because this is the best of your ability. Ahmed says, there's a magnetic bracelet. When you wear it, it relieves the pain which you have in your arms or hands. Some people say, you have to rely on Allah, you leave it for Allah, Allah cures all sickness. I think it is shirk to wear such a thing. Then we should also not have medicines. We have trust in Allah. So basically speaking, Hamid is asking about a bracelet. It's magnetic bracelet. And like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it used to be sold in the market, a bracelet made of copper. And then there is the biological necklace, I think they call it, or something like that, that has energy, etc. To cut a long story short, healing comes from Islamic ways and practical ways. When we say Islamic ways, this refers to that it was mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah. For example, ruqya, reciting Al-Fatiha. This is proven from the Sunnah. And Al-Fatiha, one of its names is the healer. So reciting Ayat al-Kursi, reciting the last 3 chapters, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Al-Falaq and Al-Nas. This is a form of healing. It's ruqya. Saying supplications, good supplications, Allahumma rabban nas adhhib al-bas. This is Islamic, Shar'i. It's referred to the means of healing that were given to us through the Quran and the Sunnah. Also, there is honey, that's mentioned in the Quran and in the Sunnah. There is cupping, there's cauterization, there is the black seed, and a number of things that the Sunnah had come up and telling us that these are means of healing. These are the Islamic means of healing. Then you have the practical, the experimented. So the doctors said, we've experimented and found out that antibiotics cure infections with the grace of Allah Azza wa Jal. Aspirin or Panadol or Tylenol cures headaches, relieves fevers with the grace of Allah Azza wa Jal. We've experimented this. Physicians, doctors, pharmaceutical experts all say, yes, this is good stuff. This is experimented. Here's the research. So this is practiced. This is tried and proven to do a good job. So this is halal, providing it is halal, providing that the side effects do not exceed the benefits of it, and it's not harmful. Then we have a third form of so-called healing that people believe in, but it's not mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah. And the physicians, the doctors, the experts say that this is baseless, this is bogus, this has no proof to back it up, such as these magnetic bracelets, these bronze or copper bracelets or necklaces, or some of them even wear rings and think that the stone of the ring has something that brings healing and maybe protects him from this or that. Now, scholars say that this, if not proven scientifically, falls under minor shirk. So you know that Allah is the healer, but you believe in this bracelet because you found that it relieves your pains. Doctors say this is hoax, this is bogus, this is not true. There's no scientific evidence backing it up. So in this case, if you believe Allah is the healer, but you still wear it, this is minor shirk. If you believe that it heals by itself, this is major shirk and you're not a Muslim anymore. So we have to go and ask the physicians, the real physicians, the doctors, to provide us with research papers on this magnetic bracelet and whether it relieves rheumatides or achings in the bone, etc., or not, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Abu Ma'ruf from Saudi.
ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Salamtullah barakatuh.
كيف حالك شيخ؟ How are you, sir?
I'm fine. حياك الله أخي.
Sir, a couple of questions.
Yes.
Sir, we have like 4 imams follow Abu Hanifa, like that, you know.
Yes.
Imam Shafi'i, Imam
Yes.
Hanafi, Hanbali. So who is the serial number? Who is the first one? And the second one, he follows Abu Hanifa or obsolete Abu Hanifa. Likewise, the last 4th Imam is the correct one. The first 3 are obsolete. They're saying everything.
Okay.
And the second one is, if we make hijama,
Yes.
Is it sunnah we get sawab for this, we get ajar?
Okay.
Because we are following sunnah.
Okay.
So these are my questions, that's all, Sheikh.
Okay, I will answer Abu Ma'ruf.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Barakallah fiqh. Mustafa from India.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salamullah.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm fine. Jazakallah khair for asking. What can I do for you, akhi?
Okay, Sheikh. Actually, I'm having two questions. One is like, in my college where I'm studying, if you bring someone or if someone comes through you to that college, you'll be having an amount of around $500 back from home. So my question is like, is it permissible to accept that, or is it riba or what?
What is your friend bringing you?
I said in my college where I'm studying now in India.
Okay, in your college.
If you bring someone from Africa to my college to study, like if someone has to come and study in my college and you help me to find admission, everything, the college will give you $500 or something approximate to that.
So it's like a commission.
It's not a condition. If anyone just come through you or anyone you help anyone to have admission, so that's what the college will be giving you $500.
Okay. Second question.
Okay, my second question is like, what is the right way to be more thankful to Allah? Like if He bless you with a lot of things, and you want to be thankful to Him, like apart from salat, fast.
Pursuit of wealth. A man dies so that people would praise him for being brave. Who among them is a martyr? The Prophet said, ﷺ, whoever dies in the cause of Allah to make Allah's word the highest. So whoever dies for Islam to prevail, whoever dies to protect the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal, he's a martyr. So, for example, if there is a war between a country trying to split up, and each party is fighting for independence or to regain control over the other area. So they're fighting for the land, for the dirt, for the rocks, for the houses, not for the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal. Their death is not martyrdom, and it's in vain, and Allah knows best. Sidra says, I heard your previous post that all sea animals are halal. So my question is, sea animals also include shark and whale. How could they be halal as they eat humans? The ayah in the Quran clearly states that anything that lives in water is halal for us to consume. The exception would be if it's something harmful. So if there is an animal or a fish that if I eat it, I get poisoned and die. No, in this case, it cannot be consumed. Why? It falls under the general guidelines, because of other general guidelines. The Prophet said, "La darara wa la dirar." And Allah said, do not throw yourself in harm's way, do not kill yourselves. And the Prophet said, La darar, there's no harm to be inflicted by me or to be inflicted by others upon me. Anything that does this is haram. So sharks, whales, and the likes are halal, even if they consume humans, which is rare, but they consume other animals, and they consume anything that has flesh in it. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, tells us in the hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari and elsewhere that they found a huge whale dead on the beach. So they ate from its meat for a whole month. And he described this huge whale in a way that is quite strange and shocking. But it shows you that whales were eaten at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. So all of animals or fish that lives in the sea and cannot live elsewhere, they can be eaten regardless of what they consume, and Allah knows best. Jidado says, how authentic is collective recitation of the whole Quran when calamity befalls the people during celebrations for the dead, or when moving to a new house. This is a new innovation due to the fact that we have a lot of copies of the Quran, and some of these copies are divided into 30 parts, 30 juz', 30. So when people have a calamity, my father went into hospital, people are coming to visit and give their prayers, and good wishers, well wishers. So I give them copies and said, okay, we have like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, let's make each one of us read one juz', and this is Quran, and we give it as a sacrifice to Allah to cure our ill. When someone dies and they come to mourn, we do the same. When we have a celebration, when we have something, an event, I'm moving into a new house, we do this. All of this is an innovation. It is unaccepted. Sheikh, we're reciting the Quran. What do you mean by unaccepted? You cannot recite the Quran in the bathroom, can you? He said, no, this is haram. He said, likewise, you cannot recite the Quran for reasons that were possible at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, yet he did not order us to recite it. So when he buried his companions, he said, seek forgiveness for your brother and ask Allah to make him steadfast, because now he's being questioned. He never told them recite the Quran, Surah Yasin, do this, do that, never. So would the Prophet instruct us, ﷺ, except with the very best? And this is why Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever innovates in our religion what's not part of it, it is rejected. So this is part of things that are not part of our religion, and it is rejected. Allah does not accept it because it's an innovation. Afshan says, I live in Pakistan and we have one thing common, that before the adhan of Maghrib, we turn the lights off and we do not go to the bathroom during the adhan. This is totally baseless and has no foundation in Islam, none whatsoever. This is all superstitious ideas that people brought, some from here or there, but it's not related to Islam. Go to the bathroom, your lights are on. If you're in the home, keep them on, there's no problem. Even between Maghrib and Isha, keep them on. Muhammad Yassin says, is lazy eye surgery permissible? Lazy eye is an abnormality, it's a defect. So if there is a possibility to fix it without harming the person and there's no side effects, and to restore it to being a normal look, there's no problem in doing that, inshallah. Salman says, I got an offer from a company. This company sells women underwears and short dresses, etc. And they want him to design a website, to make a website where they would post their pictures. So is this permissible? The answer is no. This is a form of collaborating with them on evil and transgression. And Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in chapter 5 in the very beginning that do not collaborate and cooperate with these people on sin and transgression. A sister says, after the death of the father and the property being distributed, now our brothers, we live with them. Are they obliged to provide for us? The answer is no. As long as you're rich, even if you're a female, you're a sister, if you're rich, you've inherited, and you support yourself, you have money, your brother is not obliged to provide for you. I'm not obliged to provide for my children if they're rich or if they have enough. I'm not obliged to provide for my parents if they have enough. My father is rich, my mom is well off. Only the wife is the one that I have to provide for, even if she is a multi-billionaire. She is not obliged to spend a penny on herself or on the family or on the house or on me. It is my full responsibility to provide for her everything that is needed, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. And in Fas says, do we need to wear a cap cover or cover our head when doing salah? For men, this is not part of the sunnah. Wearing a cap wearing a headdress. This is a cultural thing. I've seen a lot of the brothers wearing nothing on their heads. The minute they enter a masjid, they take a handkerchief or they take a skull cap and they wear it for salah. This is an innovation. For this particular reason, it's an innovation. But if you wear, such as my traditional head cover, throughout the whole day, in this case, there is no problem in that, inshallah. Asif says, is it permissible to do property insurance or any type of insurance? Insurance is not permissible in Islam, except if it is corporate, cooperative insurance, the one that they collaborate together, and it is like a charity organization. But this, at the moment, is not practical and it's not being practiced properly. So generally speaking, all types of insurance is prohibited, except that which is legislated by law. And if you don't have it, they will fine you or imprison you. In this case, out of necessity, you must. But if it's out of your own choice, it is prohibited, and Allah knows best. This brings us to the end of tonight's episode. Until we meet same time next week, I leave you fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
A is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.